That's all that. No. Go ahead.
No. Okay. Hello, and welcome back to episode 38 of the Force Chill podcast. Hi, how are you?
You.
And
you, and that guy in the back.
And who are you?
I don't care about that.
I'm Micah.
And I'm Lewis.
I'm Tim.
I'm Sarah. And I'm Izzy.
And here's Nasty Nate.
Our special guest, an unprecedented fourth appearance on the show.
Whatever
there
these
is no
are.
precedent for this.
Whatever these are.
So what's going on?
A lot's going on.
Like
Kathleen Kennedy, people.
Who's
Signed
that?
another 3 years.
No, it can't be.
Ridiculous.
So you're talking about president of
Presidente.
Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy,
See.
signed a 3-year deal with Disney and Lucasfilm to head up Lucasfilm for another 3 years. What are your thoughts, Micah?
So what was her? Well, before I truly get into that, did she have a deal before? Did she have a contract?
I'm sure she did. I don't know.
Okay. Because
no, she didn't.
Oh, I don't know
the only reason I asked that is because 3 years doesn't seem that long.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the previous podcast we talked about Bob Iger of Disney coming out and saying they're talking about kind of prolonging the release dates for the next movies, whatever that is. So it just seems like if they're doing it once a year, that would have been 3 years, and if they're halting on movies coming out that quickly, so what does that mean for her? Like 2 movies, maybe 1 movie? So it just kind of seems like almost. I'm not trying to say that she's going to get supplanted in her role, but it just seems like a desperate move to sign into a contract saying she has to be there for 3 years, when in reality doesn't seem like a lot as far as the longevity and her decision making.
Yeah. Well, I know when we were discussing it online back and forth, Nate, you're the one that brought up like she's not going anywhere. What are your thoughts when you heard that?
She's going nowhere.
She's going nowhere. I know it's short, but she's got 9. She's got The Mandalorian. She's got... I'm sure there's going to be another in-between movie, like Rogue One or Solo, coming up. She's got a lot of stuff still on her plate. She's got Resistance, too. So
I don't count that.
No, God.
I mean, she's a part of it. She's in control, so...
Yeah.
Oh, you forgot Forces of Destiny. Micah's favorite. And mine, too.
I literally think of the...
What do you think, Tim?
Let's see. So yeah, Micah's right about it's not really that much. Did
you just agree with me on air?
Oh, gosh.
Yes, I
Shit.
did.
Oh my God. Here.
Podcast.
Cows are coming home. Bobby Boucher.
Come to roost.
Yeah,
So-
I was gonna say, I could have been that.
Well, in 3 years, we're only gonna get. I'm thinking movies here. So two movies. By the end in 3 years for another 3 years.
Full featured movies you're talking about.
Yeah.
But that's it.
And well, I mean, she's gonna be in charge for that long, so that's all she's gonna get to see, unless they renew her contract again for another 3 years for the rest of the trilogy. Maybe she's only gonna be there for once that first trilogy movie comes out, and then if it bombs, they'll probably let her go and then let someone else come in and they'll finish the other 2 movies. I don't think it's that bad because the only thing that I like about her is that you do need change when you're moving forward. You do need something new and fresh. And even though the Last Jedi wasn't the fresh that everybody wanted, I mean, she has the, I guess, the mind for it. Like she's open to innovative things.
So you're saying
Is she?
you got to be fresh and you got to be clean. So this was
So
fresh,
fresh and
just
so
not clean.
Yeah.
So fresh and
Yeah.
so clean.
You sing that song.
So let's go over some of the things that she has brought us, right? She brought us The Force Awakens.
Turd salad. and
why don't we
Force
do
Awakens.
that? Right? Everybody fists in the middle. Oh wait, I
No,
think Sarah has
I'm
something.
reading an article just because I'm not very well educated in the Kathleen Kennedy thing.
Mm-hmm.
But she's produced,
For Amblin Entertainment for a long time.
yeah, and her name's tied to E.T., Jurassic Park, Lincoln, Warhorse, Benjamin Button.
Warhorse.
So is that your
And I mean,
nickname,
she's
Tim?
been there since 2012.
Oh, goodness.
Guaranteed.
Well, hold on.
I know.
You have
It's
a
okay.
No.
Wait, back up here. What do you say?
Is that your nickname, Tim? In the bedroom.
warhorse.
I guess Tim's mail slot has been getting filled.
Oh, dude, this guy. So, what are your thoughts?
Got the peanut butter.
Sarah?
I mean, she's been there since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 3 more years guaranteed.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
What?
That you're stating.
What was that?
You're stating a fact.
I am.
I'd like to hear your opinion.
I mean, I agree with Micah that 3 years isn't. I know.
Is Sarah?
I know. It's incredible. But
Episode 38.
Wait till you
Mike is
years.
right. Check mark.
I mean, fingers crossed. Maybe. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know.
What do you think, Izzy? You're kind of like.
I mean, I don't really care.
Well, when I first initially
I was like,
brought
what?
this to your attention, you're kind of like, oh.
Like,
Well, how does it make you feel when you hear or see this?
sweaty.
Sweaty?
Yeah.
Nervous?
Not as sweaty as
Is it like palm
Ryan
sweaty?
Johnson.
Not bad sweaty,
Knees
but
heavy?
good sweaty.
Good sweaty.
Yeah.
Not the salty sweaty.
Yeah, not the smelly sweaty, but like sweaty.
Yeah.
Like nervous sweaty.
I didn't realize there's
Maybe
a differentiation
anxious.
of how you
I'm not
sweat.
as
Optimistic
Hold on.
anxiousness.
anxious.
Ah, the good kind. It's sweet.
The beef kind.
Ew.
The what?
The beef kind.
Beefy sweat.
No, like.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. We have derailed. We haven't even been in
What?
30 minutes.
Blow up the cabin.
Really? So,
What's your thought, Lo?
I like it because it's not too long. I mean, I'm going to go over some of the things that she's brought us. She's brought us The Force Awakens.
Good.
She's brought us Rebels. She's
Okay.
brought us Rogue One.
Good.
That's good.
Great.
Forces of Destiny.
Even better.
Oh,
Even
no.
terrible.
No.
Wow.
No.
Y'all should
I'm
fist them.
sorry.
For certain
Up, down,
people.
up, down. Let's go over them again real quick. Y'all fist them up or down? Up or down?
Thumbs up.
So, Kathleen Kennedy's brought us
No.
The Force Awakens. Up or down? All right. She's brought us Rebels. She's brought us Rogue One.
Yeah.
Two
that's a
thumbs
lot.
up.
All of the thumbs.
She's brought us Forces of Destiny.
No.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Side.
All
I actually
right.
like that.
Oh wow! You
Really?
just I lost a little respect.
She
for her.
brought us The Last Jedi.
I still like it.
Me.
I still like it.
She brought us Han Solo.
Oh, yeah.
You get thumbs up for that one. Sure.
It's
Oh,
not
sorry.
a thumbs down, but it's like.
Oh shit! Swallow.
Okay, let's keep this
Have
thumbs
you
up.
seen it again?
Let's keep this
Have you
thumbs
watched
up.
it again? Oh.
Let's keep this going. The thumbs up, thumbs down, because this is what she's bringing us.
Dum,
But we don't know
The completion of the Clone Wars.
Okay.
Are you sure that was more of a
Yes.
indicator of David Filoni, though?
Yes, but he directly reports to her.
Are you one of those people?
Well,
It's her decision, though.
right?
If
Yeah,
she move
exactly.
forward with it.
She okayed it.
So it's,
She signed off on it. Okay, fine.
That
okay.
counts.
It's okay.
Well, I
Yeah,
just
you know what? You know what's so funny? I think you guys agreeing with him has agitated him.
no, but real quick, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, she might have signed off on it, but it doesn't mean like
So
She had-
the rest of these things have been her idea, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying they have been her ideas either. I'm just simply saying like she signed off on these things, but it doesn't mean like she was actually like the creative genius behind it. She had the direction and she wanted it to move forward.
But she could have said,
That's her job.
"Look, Disney,
Her job is to sign.
Disney
piece of paper.
said we're done with it. Just put it back on the shelf. We're not moving forward with that. We got other stuff we got to worry about." But she's the one that said, you know what, that's a great idea. I bet you the fans would like it. Let's do it.
Okay, this is what I mean. I have grievances with The Last Jedi. I'm not going to turn around and say it's all Kathleen Kennedy's fault.
Uh-huh.
She might have a say in it, but I'm not resting it entirely on her. So all I'm simply saying when it comes down to this is just that she signed off on it, but it doesn't mean like she held me.
And what I'm saying is that without her signing off on it, it would not happen. And so I'm saying with her
that was her number one. Like that was The Last Jedi was her best. Like to her, when she came out and said, "This is the best thing I've ever seen,"
and that's why we only get 3 years of her now.
With her, what I'm saying is her writing off on this stuff. Give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. That's simple as that. So
you should. Never mind. I was gonna say something stupid.
Oh, okay. Completion of the Clone Wars. What did y'all say to that?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay, cool. How about we got
want you to episode Dave Filoni. That's all.
Episode 9. She's going to be in charge of.
I haven't seen it.
Well, we haven't seen it, but I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
Abrams.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
Abrams.
Yes.
I'll give her the credit for sure. If she allowed.
She's bringing us the Rian Johnson trilogy
With Chris Evans.
Oh, talk to us a little bit about that. What did you hear?
I don't know that much about it.
Well, I mean, just from what you've heard.
Yeah, we were joking, right? We didn't actually see that. We were just
No, there was a
talking
thing in the messages.
It's a thing.
Lies. Anyway, but
Too
yeah,
late,
after
RDJ.
Chris Evans finishes up with his Marvel stuff, or now that he's done.
He's done.
He's done. Okay, now that he's done.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
He's gonna
Capitan.
join the Rian Johnson trilogy as somebody,
As a Sith
as
Lord.
a character,
Dude.
person.
So,
All bow.
what do y'all think about that trilogy?
I'm okay with that.
I hope.
Y'all are
I hope
thumbs
he's
up on
good
that?
he's
We
gonna be
haven't
in
really
it.
heard anything about it, though, other than it's just inside the Star Wars universe.
Everybody
That's something
loves
new.
Chris Evans.
But are you a thumbs up for it or a thumbs down for it?
To see it, yeah, but I'm
well,
just saying.
that's all I'm asking. Now we don't have to
For now.
get totally into it. You know what I mean? I'm just asking
All we know is oh god, y'all.
But
So.
Rian Johnson's like it's hard to say yes. Like
Thank you, Tim. Jesus.
If Kennedy said, well, we're gonna I guess look at our directors and choose someone else to helm the trilogy. But she still wants this trilogy. Still wants to be a different story. Got rid of Rian Johnson and brought someone else in. Then I'd be all for it because I see what Rian Johnson can do. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the movie. I thought the movie is still good. And but there are parts in there that were just I think were completely wrong to do.
Yeah.
So are you like thumbs in the middle?
Yeah, it's almost like in the middle.
In the middle? Okay. That's all I'm asking. All right. So we got D.B. Weiss and who's the other gentleman? Do you remember? The guys that are doing the Game of Thrones.
David and Dan.
David and Dan.
Yeah.
They're doing
Double D.
they got their own trilogy also. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Double.
David Benioff. and
My
Dan.
toes are
There
up
you
too.
go. Benioff and Weiss.
Benioff.
Sarah?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you thumbs
Yeah.
up? Okay, I didn't.
Yes.
Sarah, wake up.
Yeah.
And
I
then
did my thing. Don't
she's also bringing us, and it starts this weekend. If you're watching this when we put it out,
Monday.
Star Wars Resistance starts this Sunday.
Sunday.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
I'm gonna say yes for that.
The Y7 crowd.
The Y7 crowd. For the Y7, it looks good.
It looks
For
good.
them.
Yeah. So I on Star Wars Resistance, I saw some initial action figures, with Phasma, Captain Phasma, in gold instead of her silver. So I'm wondering if she has different
Platinum.
armor.
Diamond
Could be.
armor.
Well,
Okay,
didn't we
then.
hear that
Be ahead of us.
that her silver one was made from was it Palpatine's or the Naboo cruiser?
Hey,
That new
Chrome
Boo
Dome.
Huh?
Did he say that in the movie?
Chrome Dome.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Thank
think
you,
might
Nick.
be right.
So now he's trying to be completely contrary in everything I say because other people were agreeing with me.
Somebody
Dickhead.
asked him.
Well, no, but
So
I
when I
think
adjust
I actually
the
think
podcast, these fine folk.
I'm secluded, even though I agree with you. I do agree with you on the whole Kathleen Kennedy thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's unanimous.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
All right. So speaking of the Resistance, are y'all going to be watching it? Yeah,
No.
Nate's going to be watching it. Tim,
I might watch it.
you might watch it. You might give it a shot.
I like that. I might watch
Put
it.
it-
Like,
Put
put a gun to your head, Tim. You gonna watch it? I might watch it.
You're,
Just the animation. The
you're
animation,
cringing a little
the
bit.
animation hurts me.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
they said about Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah,
But the animation
The
sucks, but-
animation, like for Clone Wars,
Did they?
like the first
Yeah.
I don't know.
couple seasons, I would just.
I think
like
it's gonna be just like the other ones. It takes some time for people to fall in love with
To
it
appreciate it. Hmm.
until Ahsoka comes out in the third art form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that series is set to begin this Sunday, October 7th, on the Disney Channel. So, what are y'all's initial thoughts on this series that they're going to be bringing us? Izzy, what are you thinking?
I don't know.
Just tell us. Just put it out
I
there.
don't care.
You don't care.
You like the Forces of Destiny, but you won't give Resistance a chance. That's
Talk to us a little bit about that. What?
that's not
So-
consistent. Sorry.
They gotta be consistent. It's all about consistency. Tim knows about that. Consistency.
Micah knows best about that.
Keep your whores consistent.
So, what's different to you from Forces of Destiny and this? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, okay.
Because you love Forces of Destiny.
Force of Destiny's cute. Like,
Yeah.
I like
Still makes
the
me
whole-
ill.
But
Go ahead.
yeah, go
girl
ahead.
power thing. It's like cute and little girls can watch
Oh,
it and all
okay.
this stuff.
Yes.
But I wouldn't go out of my way to find it on TV and to turn it on and sit there and watch it.
Resistance, what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I mean, if someone puts it on, or if I'm at work and it's there, like I'll sit there and I'll watch it.
So you're saying if I go live on Facebook, you'll watch it?
If
We're gonna get our channel
maybe.
blocked if you say
I know. Oh my God. Don't say it out loud. Yeah. We'll talk about it later.
Supposedly, if he was to go live, no.
Oh, I don't know.
Y'all, not even there.
I still would have to go out of my way to
To push a button. To
turn
push
the
my
volume,
screen.
And then
Yeah.
at that point, I might be doing this thing, or I'm gonna go check Twitter or something because I'm on my phone at this point. I don't know.
It's funny because kind of like what Nate was saying, when Rebels first came out, it's getting a lot of heat, and then all of a sudden now, I think even Tim and Micah were bringing up like, oh, what if Thrawn is in this, or what if Ezra's in that, and I want to see this, and what if it's Sabine or whatever her name is? What is her name?
Yeah.
Sabine.
Sabine.
Yeah, right.
What if she's the mother of so and so, and all these things start tying in, and then all of a sudden you feel like, oh, I didn't watch it. I wish I would have watched that because I know what they're talking about. You know what I mean?
It's not very
Some
big.
rebels.
Sarah looks like
No,
she's
me.
resonating with that.
Yes.
So it might be worth a watch. You know what I mean? Because these characters might mean something somewhere down the line.
I just felt like, in part, maybe Clone Wars and maybe, I could be wrong. Like maybe those were successful or eventually successful is because they were integral to like basically how Episode 4 was brought about, at least in this case Rebels. And you brought elements from the prequels, like the good things, I guess, if you wish. The good elements from prequels, you were able to inject it into this. But I just feel like for Resistance, it's like...
Well, I think they're
Doing
doing...
the same thing for 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah,
No,
that's exactly what I was
I
going to say.
get that, but I guess there hasn't been enough time for it to have like a real hardcore like classic following, if that makes sense. Like it's still because 7, 8, and 9 are like still going through it, while people have like held on to the originals because they've been out for over 30 years, kind of thing.
Well, when did Clone Wars come out?
I think that was...
When did it come out?
2008.
somewhere around there. I was going to say late
Even
2000.
after Episode 3?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Really?
Sarah's,
Oh, wow.
Sarah's
Look it up.
vetting it for us.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that it won't be successful. I think there's a valid point to say that like it follows heavy scrutiny, and then you start to see elements that you care about, and then you give it a chance, and then they draw from that. Kind of like Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had like a slow following, but then you started having things relevant to the actual MCU, and at that point, people started like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you have to establish a basis. You have to have some kind of introductory to fill in the gaps.
You're going to bring Marvel into this again?
I'm using it as an example.
I'm just kidding.
It's under the same umbrella. Disney.
I'm just messing with you.
Dick.
Look, Tim wanted to see some fireworks.
I was already getting nervous.
You're sweating harder.
Is this the bad sweat that starts?
Yes.
No, but it might be. Who knows? Maybe it's good.
I don't doubt it'll be good.
Who knows? It could be like Forces of Destiny.
You know, there are some Forces of Destiny that weren't
fire.
bad. There were some that were a little. But some of them weren't too bad.
Like you played them and they just 10 episodes played, and I was just sitting there like watching every single one of them because
it really captured.
But that's
your
30
attention.
minutes I'm not getting back.
I think they're going to keep going with those too.
Yeah.
I think they're on season 3, 4
Already?
Something.
I mean,
like
yeah,
that.
it's good for little kids and stuff. That's fine.
He's like, hi, how's it going?
Well, I'm not saying you can't enjoy it if you're not a kid. I'm just saying like that's obviously who they're focusing on.
They got to start sucking in new fans.
Yeah.
Buy the toys.
They need
Money
more
grubbing
little girls to
Hooters.
be
Oh my god.
Left on top.
Merchandising.
Uncooked marinara sauce. Hood.
Oh my god. So Nate's gonna watch it. I'm curious. What are your expectations of this series, Nate?
And they're not very high.
Yeah.
For kids, but I enjoyed Rebels. I enjoyed Clone Wars. I didn't start watching Rebels until they introduced Ahsoka, so
Okay.
I think that's what's going to be for a lot of fans. They're going to wait for Ezra or Ahsoka or Thrawn to show back up because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But
In Resistance, you think so?
I think he's
Where else
right.
are they gonna show
Oh,
him?
that sucks then.
Why?
Because it kind of tramples the idea that they could come out later on, like say in episode 9 or something.
they still can.
But yeah, why wouldn't they be able to?
They still can, but I'm just saying, like, if they weren't in this, then they would come back at some point. It would be more likelihood that it would be in episode 9.
Yeah.
But if you definitely see them in Resistance, it's like, okay, they lived in Rebels, so they could carry on the story in Resistance. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not saying they can't be in episode 9. I'm just saying if they have a different medium that they're getting attention to, I just feel like there's a lesser potential for them to show up in episode 9.
Maybe. I don't know.
Just my thoughts.
So you're saying you want Ezra and Thrawn and Ahsoka in 9?
Yeah.
But
Don't
not,
you?
But not in Resistance.
Don't you?
I don't see why they couldn't be in Resistance
Yeah,
and still make the transition to 9.
Leia.
No,
Do you
I'm not
think-
saying
do you
it
think
can't.
it would
I'm just
be
saying
more
if you
of a-
see them in that, I think there's a less likelihood for them to be in episode 9.
Why? Help me understand that.
If Resistance didn't come out and they lived in the end of Rebels, then it's like we have to see them again.
Mm-hmm.
But now that Resistance is coming out, and if you see them, it's like, okay, did they stay alive only for the concept of being in Resistance? Does that not make sense?
I'm kind of floating out there a little bit.
If they're in Resistance and we don't see them,
Do you understand?
Yeah.
You do?
Thank you.
I'm
You're
missing
still
it.
your dick,
Yeah.
man.
No. I'm just. I'm
Give
trying
us
to.
a Marvel example.
You fucking bastard. Okay, so Captain Marvel, right?
Oh god. Help me.
If you
Help you.
Okay, I think I know what you're saying. So
Okay,
they
were you
lived-
not understanding?
They lived just to
Be
bridge
in
the
another
gap
animated
into
cartoon.
Resistance to get people to hooked into it. And
Possible.
then once they have that viewership, they're gonna kill them off.
I'm not gonna say they're killing off. I'm just saying, like, if you see them
But-
in Resistance, it's like maybe they lived in Rebels so they could be in Resistance.
Yeah.
If you didn't have Resistance, they are still alive for what reason? Maybe to be in Episode 9. And also for the basis too, Resistance is supposed to be just before Episode 7, more or less, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong in saying that?
No, I think you're right.
So if it's just before Episode 7, and we see them in Resistance, we don't see them in 7 or 8. So then I think there's a less likelihood of seeing them in 9. It's because maybe they die off in Resistance.
That makes more sense now. I understand what you're saying.
Follow the bouncing ball.
Help me. No, okay. I can see where you would be disappointed.
I think they turn those into such great characters. Well, let's just say in this case Ezra.
Mm-hmm.
I think they developed such a great character. Obviously, Thrawn stands on his own.
Well, Ezra's okay.
I think he has potential. So
yes, that I agree with.
So what I'm saying is that to develop that character and having such a great potential, it would be disappointing. I mean, not like bad disappointing. It's just you would wish to be able to see like what he becomes, and that accentuated in an actual live action film versus just another cartoon. Mm-hmm. Like Ezra actually being a badass, not just let's join the rebels, let's join the Resistance.
Well, I think his character. I don't know if you agree with this or not, Nate, because I know you watched the series too. But I think towards the end there, when he was almost contemplating being, I think he was contemplating maybe Darth Maul really isn't bad guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think he was getting to where you're talking about.
Yeah.
He was kind of heading that way. You know what I mean? And I think the only thing keeping Ezra in the Jedi way was his master. And then he lost his master towards the end. You know what I mean? So we haven't seen him beyond that, really. You know what I mean? Because there was only a couple episodes and the series is over. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So wherever he and Thrawn and everybody else went, maybe he has become that grizzled.
Well, the next time we see him, he's going to be 30 years older.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or maybe not. Because they were going through like a portal or something, right? And since they introduced the prior episode, or was it the episode before that, they introduced the concept of time travel almost.
Maybe.
That's what I was thinking. And if they do bring they went through a wormhole and it actually happened to be 30 years in the future, I just think it would be disappointing to have that story carry on in another animated thing when these characters could have something spectacular.
Mm-hmm. So would you want to see Ezra at the same age and have gone through a wormhole, or aged and then we pick up?
I would prefer to see him aged.
Me too.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much, because then it feels like it kind of closes up. Like whatever you see him as aged, it's like he's almost like he made that decision whether going left or right, whether going dark or good, kind of thing. Like I want to see that potential,
like his master.
But he's really just riding, that jagged line. Like he could fall off at any moment's notice and become whatever.
I want him to be like the Marty McFly traveling through time.
Hello.
I think the only way I'd be cool with that is if they traveled back to the Old Republic.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And then you can do a whole Old Republic show. Mm-hmm. And maybe Thrawn and Ezra actually become buddies.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting.
That'd be cool, because Thrawn would be the kind of tactician to bring him under his wing. No, son, you don't understand,
Yeah. Oh, then Ezra would be dangerous.
But then again, wouldn't you want to see that live action? I just think I'm not. It's not to take away from any of the animated stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just I think there's so much more. Like maybe it's even more relatable or believable if you actually got to see these things like live action. And also the caveat: if it's live action, then more likely it can be PG-13. You can see more darker shit than what you would see in a cartoon specialized for children.
Okay, well, since you put it that
way, you look at him looking for his validation.
No. Because I was curious what Nate's reaction to that was, because, and I would like to hear Tim's thoughts on it too, because I think us three have watched a lot of animation, and I was not with you up until you said for a youth show.
I'm not saying you can't have dark things in an animated thing, but I don't think you'll see that for Star Wars.
No, I agree.
And I also, I think if you took a live action, and like if you took a cartoon that's dark, and you brought the live action, I just think like you might like this artistic approach, but I think it's more believable if you see it live action, and that's more so what I'm talking about.
What do you think, Tim?
I don't know, man. Gantz was a great dark movie.
I would hope they would do the Old Republic like that.
If that was live animation, I don't know if they can get that. I mean, just that feel of the way they animated all those creatures, the monsters, and that look is terrifying. It was like nightmares.
Yeah.
But if they could, would you have liked to see it live action?
It's already live action, but
I'm talking about with the respect of it not being animated.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he's saying. They have a live action and they have an animated. They're
and
the
it's
same
not,
thing.
It's not as. I mean, if they had a big budget like given to them from Disney, then maybe like with all that money poured into it, they can have that time and technology used to make that kind to make it look good live action with the other people. But you're still gonna have to use CGI. But
Well, no, I know, but that's what I'm talking about.
I don't think that. Well, then yeah. I mean, if they had the money, then
Like if you could see all these anime things, but they weren't, artistic renderings. They were like live action films with CGI, of course, because a lot of things now are CGI, but the CGI has gone such a great distance where it's like almost indistinguishable. And just give it another 10 years, you could probably produce shit that you see in anime. What I know y'all talk about, huge ass giants breaking down like city. Well, what the hell is that one show?
Attack on Titans.
Attack on Titan.
I guess so, yeah. But I'm just saying things that you couldn't really do
That
in a live
happens
action
in
and it'd be
dance
truly
as well.
believable. CGI is just getting to the point like every 10 years. Like you can look at 10 years ago and it's like, Jesus Christ, we've gone, light years ahead.
Well, then, in essence, aren't most movies nowadays animation?
No.
What do you mean?
It has, yes. I mean, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
But there's a
It's
difference
like
between looking at something that looks like it's a real life Izzy versus a cartoon Izzy.
Hey, that'd be
What happens is when it comes to the point of you don't know if it's real or not.
Then I'll
Does it matter?
Then I'll concede that point.
Yeah, because it's getting there.
Aren't they doing like a virtual Vader show or virtual Vader?
Yeah, I think we're going to talk about that in a little.
Jesus, Tim, it's the next topic. Stop trying to get us ahead.
Topic 3.
You jumped to topic 3, Tim. We're still on topic
Tim,
3.
you circled
Oh,
it.
this is my agenda. I didn't see that today.
But I mean, they're getting close to that, and I know there's some actors and actresses a little nervous about that. When is it going to come to when all you need is the voiceover and not necessarily the person there? Same thing with stunt people.
Yeah.
When are you going to not need them anymore? You know what I mean? And at that point, it's all animation. You know what I mean?
No, I get that, and that's probably a philosophical debate that can happen because we're not entirely there yet. But I'm just talking about.
George Lucas was going though.
I'm
That's
just
why
talking
he had
about
so
the
much
distinction
mainstream.
of an obvious apparent cartoon, which is essentially. I'm not downplaying anime, but I'm just saying like
No. Yeah, I understand that.
a cartoon versus an actual person. Even if it's an animation, even if it's
And we're talking
CGI.
It's art.
Yeah.
It's art.
No, I get that it's art and everything, but I'm just saying like between which one's more believable, a cartoon or an actual thing, even if it is a CG animation entirely, the thing that's more believable, I think that people will eventually fall to.
I'm curious.
Yeah, well,
Would
DBZ.
You even just said it yourself.
Well, no, because they have to have a really large blockbuster budget because DBZ was made into a movie, it didn't work.
Because it was cheesy, right?
They still have a following, an even bigger following now in Dragon Ball, and then Gantz made it into a movie, it doesn't work like the following is with the animation.
Because we also talked about we're not there for that yet.
That's why I said the money.
I just don't think Star Wars will ever get that dark. I think the darkest Star Wars will ever get was the Vader scene in Rogue One.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll ever get
God damn you, Nate.
an entire series.
I'm done with this show.
I think you're right.
I mean, they still gotta do it for the kids because Star Wars has been and always will be for the kids.
No. I agree. I'm just saying, like, I just feel like it would be a disappointment not to see it thrown on the big
Not
screen.
when David and Dan release their stuff. That's gonna be. I think.
Do you think they're going to let them go R?
Huh?
You think they'll let them go R?
Yes.
You really think
I
so?
don't think so.
Yeah.
Because you
I-
take out
We
the
should make
entire-
a bet right now.
I don't-
Absolutely.
I'll put 20 on it.
I don't
You got a
think.
$20
That
bet
it
with
won't be R.
And it won't be R. Because you still got to have the aspect for kids. You know what I mean?
See, that's the thing is because.
That's why they're releasing Deadpool right now, PG-13, so the kids can watch it.
Ah, man.
Wait, what?
Excuse me?
They're releasing a PG-13 version of Deadpool.
I want to.
So the movie went from like an hour and a half to
That's
like 15 minutes.
Maybe. I don't know.
But I just-
you're gonna take that bet, Tim?
I want to.
You
It's
should.
such a
I
huge
wouldn't.
element in like
I-
Game of Thrones.
My hope.
It depends on what medium it comes out.
It's so like
if it's a
future.
movie or if it's Netflix. If it's Netflix, then maybe. But if it's a movie, no.
Yeah, because even in Netflix, they don't really have. It doesn't seem like they focus on ratings. Like we were talking about that with the Defender series
Or Disney
for
streaming.
Marvel. Yeah.
You ladies haven't talked very much. I'm curious
Yeah, 'cause
about
they
y'all's
got-
I want
Coffee!
it to be rated R.
Anyone want some coffee? I'm making some coffee. Anyone want some coffee?
Fresh pop.
What do y'all think?
Of the Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
The guys who
I
made
want
Game
it
of
to
Thrones.
be. I want it to be R.
And if it is rated R, would you rather it be animated or live action?
Live action.
Live action?
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Because
Strange.
He looks so
because
Because.
because dot dot dot
better. Duh.
Yeah.
is better.
But it's more like real.
Thank you.
I like anime violence too.
Yeah,
You what? I couldn't hear you.
I said I like anime violence.
I still don't think we heard you.
But like so.
I said.
Listen to me. I is.
I'd probably like break myself.
Oh,
Like that scene from Guts where that guy storms in in the army with his large horse and he swoops across like with one swipe.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't break stuff, bro.
All the soldiers around him, bodies cut in half, flying in the air, blood squirting like sky high, like everywhere, and it just rains out upon everybody like showers the blood.
Wouldn't you want to see that live action?
but I don't know if
The closest
I
thing
think-
I've
I
seen
think
to
it'd
that
be,
live
more
action is
fantastical, like anime, but I don't know. See, I've
Um,
never watched.
you never really watched anime. Well, we'll have to do that one of these days.
Okay.
Start somewhere. Start Cowboy
Just
Bebop.
don't tell me
Yeah,
about
like
it. I
Cowboy
don't want to know.
Bebop.
I would.
We should.
My Hero Academia is the
Oh, that's
popular one right now.
yeah.
Anyway,
There's a lot of good ones out there.
I think like more for like explosion reasons.
And even
Live
just
action
fights.
would be cool.
I just want to see something.
Okay, how
I think
about
sometimes the stories might be even better.
how about
Live
this?
action?
That
Or anime.
the writing. Sometimes the writing is really good
For
for animation.
For anime.
oh.
Like
Sure.
not just, we're not talking about like the animation like of the animation movies, but the stories on it too is really good.
Yeah, that's true.
The only like bonus they have is like they can cut out the the errors that live action has where the actors can't show a certain expression. They can do that. with
True.
animation.
They just need the right actors. Right? I don't know.
No, you're right.
I'm just, you can hire an
Sometimes
actor that can't act,
Sometimes they make the wrong decisions on the casting. You're right.
and sometimes the director just has a different opinion. Goddamn George Lucas. George Lucas.
So, live action, rated R.
Yeah.
You gonna take Needs Bet of it?
What's
$20.
$20.
That's
That
not rated R.
that? It's not rated R.
Mhm.
Oh.
See, I can't. I really want probably more than nothing to see that, but the likelihood of it happening,
Yeah,
Nate's right. I'm not gonna take that bet.
exactly.
I would love to think. I would love to think like, okay, we're making these cartoons. We're making Force of Destiny.
They're gonna
Hold on a second. I was making a point. We're making Force of Destiny. We're making Resistance. It's obviously for kids.
What about us?
What about
What
us?
about us?
What about matures?
Mature. You know.
The over 18 crowd.
Yes.
Yeah, if you get the Y, why not the R?
It's great.
Exactly. I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Youth
I'd like
rated
for
R. I
it
know.
to
I'm
be.
kidding.
I would
Okay.
like for it to be rated R, just because.
Me too.
Yeah.
We deserve
There's so much
something
for the
too.
kids and like.
Thank you, Izzy. It's exactly what I'm trying to make.
Kids can't have everything.
I mean,
Thank
Yeah.
you again, Sarah. Fuck off.
Why are you looking at me? I didn't even say anything.
You represent the man, the establishment.
I agreed with you and your point.
Everyone's against me.
Switch gears again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know.
Avatar is another one that was made into live action. Didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's get him another
The Last
chance though.
Airbender.
Wait,
Yeah, they are. getting another-
wait, which Avatar?
The Last
The
Airbender.
Last Airbender.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
true one.
Yeah. Speaking of that, in Avatar, they were like in little chambers, right? The other Avatar.
Like the creature avatar?
Yeah. Did y'all ever watch that movie?
There's also
I
M. Night
watched it a
Shyamalan too.
lot.
I never watched the movie, but there was also M. Night Shyamalan, right?
Yeah.
He always has a really I want to say interesting, but different take on things.
Mhm.
I don't think that was the problem with that movie.
No,
No.
I didn't watch it. I don't
was
even
the
see
weird
the. I haven't.
movie
I haven't seen the cartoon, the anime for it.
I think it tried to be too anime for live action.
Yeah.
I don't think it can pull that off very well. I haven't seen it being pulled off very well. And I think it's because in live action, because we are humans, when you see somebody do something, you're kind of like, who can really do that? You know what I mean? But if you see it in animation, it's like, well, they're not really real, so yeah, they could possibly do that.
And I think that's the point. I probably
Yeah.
wasn't able to articulate very well, but that's what I'm trying to get at. Is that seeing the animation versus the live action, even if they're CGI, you think it. You just. For me, I think it's more believable. So I mean, that's why I have a more preferential to that side.
Yeah.
Is because
Yeah,
I know
no,
because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how graphic. Doesn't matter how dark an animation gets. I'm still looking at the thing, not to belittle it, but I'm still looking at the thing as a fucking cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not literally a dude's head being, decapitated by a katana.
Mhm.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What did you say?
I said cartoon, and I don't know about
I
that.
think I've expressed my
Your angst.
desire for live action
Live action.
adequately enough.
Yeah, I think you.
Okay, Nate. You
You've
don't have to
hammered
keep
it
on
home continuously.
Well, yeah.
Your unappreciation for the
arts.
yeah.
It's not an appreciation for the arts. It's just a higher desire for
You desire.
the real shite.
Tell us what you desire.
Tell me your feelings.
But where I was going with the Avatar thing, the James Cameron Avatar, is that seemed like a virtual reality. And Tim, you kind of touched base on Vader and the virtual reality. Is it a game or is it a?
That was my question. I didn't get to that, but
Oh.
y'all stopped me. But yeah, what the heck is that? Is it a?
I think
So,
it's a,
are we on topic 3 now?
Topic 3.
I think
Well,
so.
We can skip to topic 3 for now.
We could skip 2, I think.
For
we're
now.
on.
Well,
we don't have to skip 2. We're
talking-
there.
Because we're like transitioning into.
yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about the.
That's what I'm saying.
resistance
That's how
here.
we don't have to skip 2 it. We could just go there.
Yeah.
We can all skip.
Gotta
it.
edit
And
this all out.
went back
Throw some
to
shit
topic
up.
1, and now we're at topic 3.
No, we covered
We
topic two.
incorporated topic 1 into topic 2
Yeah.
once we got to topic
So,
2. So technically it was still topic 2. but-
Tim,
Boopity
please.
boop.
Yes.
Topic
Boop,
3.
boop.
Boop, boop. Meep, boop, meep.
Well, the titles of Vader Immortal.
Vader Immortal.
It's a virtual reality series for the Oculus.
I'm going to have to fucking buy that phone just to get the goddamn Oculus.
Are you gonna get it, Tim?
Phone?
I mean, eventually I have to. Eventually I will go virtual reality. I don't know if that's when I'll get it, but it's pushing the limits on like I want. Like it's gonna happen. I don't know when, but probably around that time.
What's the time of this? Did it say 2020?
That I
Or was it
don't remember.
2019?
I think it might be next year.
Because I feel like it was... Oh, okay. I don't know why I was thinking it was like...
Do you have VR?
It wasn't directly the next year, I thought. Like, because it made it seem like there was time for them to refine it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What do you guys think about the virtual reality world?
Have y'all tried virtual reality?
No.
I have. And
I
it's,
have.
It's
I tried one
trippy.
Got
thing with the building.
Yeah,
With,
but you
uh,
told
Yeah,
me to.
building.
what?
Not just like
What are your thoughts?
PS1 or?
The PS4.
Um,
The I don't know if you played it. The one with the roller coaster and the clowns. Yeah.
Clowns.
What?
Are they chasing you?
Well, I mean,
Is that why you're on
you
the
have to
roller
shoot them
coaster?
as they come out.
Oh no, I
but-
fucking.
Oh no, that's how I
Don't
put
tell
my
them.
pants.
Oh, I know.
Is that what it's called?
But it's for the game, yeah.
Isn't that like
I'm super
the
excited.
new Star Wars game?
Mm-hmm.
The Jedi one?
Oh, what the hell is that called?
Is it an Oculus or is that just?
No, that's something else.
Which one?
Like
The one with
Jedi
the
Challenges?
sabers, where like it's like Guitar Hero, but for a saber.
Oh, it's not really a Star Wars game.
Yeah, it's their.
Yeah.
I think
No,
it's
but
their
there
own
was
platform.
Thought it was.
There was one where it was
At
like,
Best Buy.
yeah,
It's
we
a,
saw it.
it's,
We
it's
saw
their,
it.
it's
Oh, I
their
know what
own
you're talking
platform though. Like you have to go and get that platform to use it. It's not for any other virtual set.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's only specifically for that.
It's like $200.
Because the hardware,
Yeah,
the
it's too
hardware
much.
is there for that program.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't put the Vader game on that one.
I know, really, right?
Yeah.
So,
Maybe. No. Yeah.
would you get it? Let's say somebody were to gift it to you. Would you want it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, here's your chance to ask everybody. What they want.
I'm
Please.
starting up a GoFundMe.
Yeah, to send you an Oculus.
Oh.
If anybody,
Help a sister out.
yeah, ask. Yeah.
Also, if anyone would like to send me a TV and a PS4,
That'd be great. That'd be great. All proceeds would go to your entertainment, and then you can put it on your YouTube
I
channel.
need a TV
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to get someone a
Entertain.
TV, I want a TV too because mine just went out
No,
last
no,
night.
no, we already.
my God.
We're talking
My
about
TV went out last
We're
night.
talking
She
about
gets the
Izzy.
Oculus.
TV in a
I get the
year.
TV.
We're talking about Izzy right now. Okay?
Yeah, we're talking about
We'll
me.
talk about you next.
It's me.
Time.
It's about me.
Yeah, about that.
So you, sir, what do you think about virtual reality? Gaming.
I'd be down. So there's this Ace Combat game. That's
Oh, I
coming out.
love
It's
Ace
like a jet
Combat.
fighter game.
That's good stuff.
How does it work?
I don't know. I'm bad at video games, but
Uh-huh.
I think
They give you, like, a
maybe I
joystick
can get
for-
better.
But wait a minute.
Like a thing.
I've never tried virtual reality.
Wait, Sarah,
Depends on what it comes
you're
from.
you're not.
I'm not good at sports. I'm not good at reading. I'm not good at talking. I'm not good at a lot of things.
You know what's good about that is you're
Nothing.
narrowing things down because you got to be good at something.
Yeah, I'm still looking to find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
There's not a lot of stuff to distract you in your padded room, right? Just playing.
anyway, I'd be down if I didn't have to pay for it. I'd be down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anybody out there, if you want to gift the ladies an Oculus,
About
Just-
$400.
yeah, DM Force Choke Podcast,
Don't you have
PayPal,
Don't you have
Yeah.
the phone?
Vimo,
Vimo. Yes.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oculus is its own system.
So Tim,
we take
Oh, I
trips.
thought it was all like part of the Samsung shit.
Tim, price point.
Oh, cool.
What would you want to see the price point at?
For this,
Yes.
Start at 800.
so that's without the Oculus,
Jesus.
just the reality thing.
Yeah.
80
$1 million.
80 to 90.
80 to 90.
What? How much is it?
Wait, per
I-
game
that I
or
don't know.
system?
I don't know. You're
The
talking
game.
just for the game itself.
If you
right?
already had the
Yeah.
system.
Wow.
That's
Jesus, that
even a
seems
game, though?
expensive.
you're, and
Well, if it
actu-
comes with the lightsaber,
Aren't new PS4 games
Oh,
like $70?
Does it?
Or 60.
about 60.
60?
Yeah.
That's like a.
It's like a $30 difference for virtual reality.
That's for.
Probably just watch it on
For
YouTube.
crack.
Yeah, it's
Watch
well, it's
somebody play
it's
it.
a 50% increase though. That's what I'm saying.
that's different, man. It's virtual. You gotta
There you
put
go.
the thing on.
But I didn't realize it came with like hardware.
Does it?
I thought it was just a game.
I'm curious.
wouldn't it?
I'm gonna ask Tim. Well,
'Cause I don't know
actually,
what the
this
game
side of
is
the
involved
table
with.
Oh, because
has more gamers than this side, right? And so,
I'm with the cool kids again.
and
Cuts
so,
off right. Yeah.
would that be worth it to you? An extra $30 to play a virtual reality game. So for Tim,
Yeah.
that's a good price point.
I paid. I paid 100, somewhere around there for Uncharted 4, which came with a lot of extra
Bonus.
stuff. Yeah, bonus. Like a statue of the character.
For any girls out there, he is a sugar daddy. He will
And,
drop money on the shit he cares about.
Yeah, I mean the story is
I paid $100
phenomenal.
for it.
I think a lot of people have been asking for it to be made into a live action movie. But it was well worth it, man. All the money I spent on that. so I wouldn't mind paying.
So Nate,
It's like, I'm getting feedback. Hold on.
Nate, you
60
kind
or
of
I'm not buying it.
60 or I'm not buying it.
62
Unless it comes with something cool.
Yeah,
lightsaber.
bonus.
That's what I'm saying. I think if it came with the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Okay, 65 then. 65.
No, I'll pay for
Okay, if
something
it can,
cool like that. But
yeah,
if it's
But-
just a game, no, I'm not paying more than 60.
yeah. That's kind of like where you're like, you know what? It's just not worth that much.
I don't make that much money.
Yeah.
Yeah, except I don't. Well, it feels like the PS3 and the Xbox 360 was around $60. It doesn't seem like the price of games have really fluctuated too much.
They get you though. The price would have changed. The only reason why it hasn't is
DLC?
because microtransactions.
Fucking
So these developers are making money off of that. That's how they're. It would have been probably these games now would have been priced at 80 or even like 100. But these microtransactions, they're getting like 10 to 20 off of people, like an extra.
So that's where they're.
Would
making
you
the money.
pay an extra $20 for a game today if you got all the DLC content that was to come in the future? Now, I'm not talking about. There's a different conversation about the incentive to continue DLC content.
Well, explain
If
to
they were to
everybody
get it
that
for
doesn't
free.
know what DLC content is.
Downloadable content where they added more features, like whether it's more maps for like a
Add-ons.
first-person shooter, add-ons. There's a storyline. I mean, there's a DLC content, or there's DLC for Battlefront 2 that you didn't have to pay for, right? That
That's because they
second.
got so much shit for. That's because they got so much shit for the microtransactions.
That's fair.
Well, and I'm curious about that you brought up with this Oculus for Vader Immortal, because if you read it, it says Vader Immortal, and then on the bottom, really small, it says Episode 1.
Dickheads. Well, no, it just means like they can have an additional games, and they're calling it episodes.
Yeah. So Micah would.
First portion of it, you just open the door and you see those fucking rebels sitting there. I get to kill him.
So I'm curious, Micah, because I know. Did you like Ready Player One?
Oh, I loved it, man.
So this could be a first step going that way.
Fuck yes.
So
If in 30 years we don't have some technology like that, just take me out. I'm done. I don't care.
I want to share something with you, Micah.
I think you've shared too much already.
You might be right. We won't talk
See
about that.
fucking grin I'm talking about? I'm not crazy, people. I'm not.
Well, virtual reality was introduced many years ago,
Okay.
and it still hasn't become anything. I'm curious if this is going to fizzle out again. I hope
I don't
not.
think we had the technology for it then at the time though. Like I mean, we had virtual reality, but it's nothing remotely close to even what you see on the TV today versus back then.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No,
Like,
I agree.
I know it sounds probably stupid, but I think there's a Disney movie called The First Kid or something. It was
Yeah, that is
Sinbad
stupid.
was fucking asshole. You know what I'm talking about though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was-
he's
And towards the end, he's in the mall.
Yeah.
He ran away from his security, and he wasn't supposed to. And someone was like trying to kill him. But there was a virtual reality concept in there. And at the time, it was cool, but it was like blocky and stuff.
Yeah.
Virtual reality for today, like
I think we're in the PS1 stage of
Right.
virtual reality.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's very much what I mean is that like back then it probably wasn't as received because there wasn't a lot of I'm not gonna say there wasn't a lot of advancements for technology, but it didn't really seem like it was that critical.
It wasn't
Now
as
everything
seamless
is-
to real life.
Yeah, now everyone's like, oh, I got the iPhone X. Well, I want the XS. There's no difference. I still want it. There's more of a drive, and there's more of a
social
call for
status
it.
is what it is.
What?
The phone thing, I feel like it's social status.
Yeah, I think it probably has part to do with it, but I'm just talking about that there is an actual urge, to push out, better technology to make something like this more viable. Kind of like how Lucasfilm, they did refinements and CGI and all kinds of stuff so they could make their movies. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing now is like not only is there a desire for it, but there's a drive to get to that next point, the next chapter. An example of a VR, if we're at PS1 now, then there's a PlayStation 2, there's a PlayStation 3, there's a PlayStation 4. There will be next steps, and the better it gets, the more believable it becomes, the more people will want it.
My question to you then is, Micah.
If you build it, they will come. Oh,
Well, they might come, but I don't know if they'll stay and they'll pay for it.
dickhead.
And that's what I was going to ask you.
Admission fee, my man.
Yeah. Last episode of our podcast, we talked about spending money because you want them to make more of what you enjoy. Mm-hmm. Would you plop down the kind of money that these guys are talking about, that this may be because you like it and you want them to continue moving forward with the future of virtual reality? Not saying that it's going to be great, but you're saying, you know what? I'm going to plop down my money so they can keep moving forward with this, because without those funds...
When you say plopping out money, you're talking about me as a consumer
as
buying
a consumer,
their products?
Yes.
Yeah.
Plop.
You say plop or flop?
Plop.
Plop it.
Me as a consumer, would I buy their product?
Are you going to? What
For VR, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason for the Oculus. I didn't realize that was a standalone thing. I thought that was integrated with the Samsung phone.
Oh,
Phones cost virtually $1,000 a piece, so I didn't want to buy that, then the headwear for that, and then whatever a game would cost. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you have something like the Oculus being an independent game station, if you will, with VR, I mean, obviously you'll have to pay for games or whatever. Mm-hmm. But now that I know that, I mean, I think if it's more easily accessible and it's cheaper than having to spend $1,000 on something just to start off.
Yeah,
we'll spend about half of that to start.
$1,000 is still $1,000.
Well, Sony's gone that way too, right? The PlayStation, do they have any VR games and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm.
Some are optional.
Oh, optional VR and just regular. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Have you played any of those two?
No. But she brought up one with Days Combat. That's optional.
Yeah.
Star Wars was too. The first Battlefront. You can play VR on that one.
Oh, nice.
Could you really?
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck have I been?
I thought you were plopping money.
Plop.
I didn't know these things.
Well, now that
I have to steal it from Tim because he's got all his money over there. I spent $100 for something that only cost me $20.
At the register, they said it was going to be $50, and I said, no, here's $100.
Here's 320s. Keep the change at 50.
Oh my god! So who's
When I
buying?
talk about social status.
So Mike is buying it.
I spent $60 on a game. Well, I spent $100.
Watching it on YouTube.
Watch it on YouTube.
Tim's buying it,
I'll play it if they give it to me.
and everybody out there.
Rent it on Redbox.
Cheap.
I'm probably not going to buy it.
Cheap. You don't even have a PS4 now. Because you get violent.
I get violence on the PS4.
I still remember that Call of Duty. Was it Call of Duty?
You can tell everybody the story. Tell everybody it's okay, because I'm pretty level-headed person.
Okay, so Lewis is a very level-headed person, especially if you don't know him outside of work. At the time I know of Lewis, I consider us friends, but I didn't really know him like I do today. And I remember, I think it was like Black Ops 1?
I think you're right. Yeah.
One of the first-person shooter games on Xbox 360. I don't think Xbox One was out yet.
Yeah.
Or maybe it just
Black Ops 2?
I think it was 1.
1 was out on 360?
It was on 360. Yeah.
Well,
So anyway, so there's a group of guys that
mutual friends.
mutual friends, and I finally found out like they were playing online. I was like, okay, well, I'll play with them, and Lewis was part of that. And all of a sudden, you hear Lewis like he's just talking. You go, I fucking shot you. hit markers. He's just going off. I was like, is this Lewis? I didn't know it was
There
him.
were so many vulgarities.
I was just laughing because I'm playing the game and I'm not able to play because I hear him going off with the microphone. I'm like, did someone just hurt him? Like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
He's like, I fucking shot you in the face with a shotgun. Really, 20% damage? Bullshit. It's so bad.
That's a great story.
Dude, I was like, okay. I understand now why you don't currently have a game station.
Yeah. It had to be removed from the home.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
So that probably won't be in the house.
That's still a highlight I have here.
Yeah. It does.
Fucking shot you in the face from not even 5 feet away.
Popped him twice. Nothing. I'm still
And
salty.
here's some of the other guys.
I'm still salty.
Hit marker.
10 years
He
later.
doesn't die. He's so bad.
Oh my god.
What's the next topic?
The next topic
Oh,
is.
sorry, it wasn't about you, Tim. Let's move on.
We're gonna make this topic about Tim,
Oh,
and I really want to hear what Tim has to say about this. So recently, Andy Serkis and Ray Park, Andy Serkis and Ray Park have had to cancel some of their appearances at different cons. So could Andy Serkis be shooting for Snoke?
Is that who that is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
And could Ray Park be shooting for something with Darth Maul?
I think yes, and yes.
I hope so, but I think there was an update for the Ray Park thing because we saw it last night. That he ended up saying, I will be showing up Friday, Saturday, just canceling Sunday. But it could be like a travel day, so I don't know.
Oh, for the Dallas Fan Expo?
I guess so, I don't know. It just said like I wouldn't be able to attend these shows. And then I think there's an edit that came out and says, no, I'm just not showing up for the Sunday.
Oh, okay.
The reason why I feel like Andy Serkis for sure is because I think J.J. Abrams, to right the wrong on like the story in Last Jedi, he's gonna bring him back to play a part that's like integral, like very important to the story. He's gonna have Snoke come out again and say probably just a few words, maybe only one scene, but just give us a flashback, kind of like the way we got with Kylo as a kid, or Rey seeing those past scenes with the Knights of Ren. The same thing. We're gonna get another thing with Snoke.
What do you think, Nate?
He's dead, but not in our hearts.
Yeah.
Tu corazón.
I think we might see him as like a Sith ghost, because we've seen in the comics and stuff
Darth
that
Bane.
Sith can, put their consciousness in items or possess people or so many different ways. And
like in Rey's saber,
yeah, I think there's
the crystal.
Because she's dark.
I think there's ways for him to come back.
Yeah.
Whether it be flashbacks or possession or a ghost messing with Kylo.
What would you rather happen? Would you rather be like what Tim was talking about? Let's say Andy Serkis comes back to reprise his role as Snoke. Would you rather see him do a flashback or him continuing on his story, but possibly as a Force?
Probably
Sith
continue the
ghost?
story.
Continue the story?
Because I think if I was, in the storyboard room, I'd put Kylo and I'd have Luke messing with him or trying to help him, and then Snoke messing with him, trying to keep him
still
on the dark side, so he's still getting pulled both
angel
ways.
devil on the shoulder kind of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What do you think?
That'd be fucking badass. I mean, because they never really announced him as Sith, but there is still a fair amount we don't know about. I wonder if he had a lightsaber. Maybe his
Snoke?
yeah. And,
I don't know.
and what that would be or what that would look like, because he knew about it. He was teaching Kylo Ren. But I think it would be something, it could go back to something that we had previously discussed, that he knew that what Kylo Ren was doing the entire time, and that was like a final test for him, is like, you have this thing holding you back to become truly great, even if that means sacrificing myself for you to become this, crazy Dark Lord. Yes, I said Dark Lord. And then so maybe Snoke does come back, because from the novelizations in Episode 7, we know that Snoke was, messing with Kylo Ren, or in this case Ben Solo as a young kid, manipulating him, pulling him away from the light side, and I think Nate's right in some capacity. Either we could see that, or even if we see him as a past event of some sort, I think we'll definitely see him. But it would be kind of cool to think that he is still lingering around. So I think it even makes more of a conflict for Kylo Ren, because he's like, I fucking killed this asshole and he's still here to mess with me. Just to see the stride that he took after killing Snoke, and he's just talking down to what the fuck is that guy's name? The wimpy dude.
Hux.
Kylo?
Hux, yeah.
Hux, General Hux.
Yeah, I was like, I knew the actor's name, but
Kylo Ren.
now we know what Tim thinks of Kylo Ren.
General Hugs. But just seeing how real quickly, like, Kylo Ren didn't even, let's do this. He's like, no, bitch, I'm number one now.
Yeah.
And just the mere fact of what would do to the conflict that he thought he resolved by killing Snoke, that how much is still there if Snoke was still messing with him, which I think in turn could give pay tribute to a redemption for him at the
Is he?
end, if it goes that way.
Is Snoke still alive?
Yes.
He's dead.
He's alive?
I've seen a lot of villains die, like Orochimaru in Naruto, and he
I don't know what
comes
that
back
is.
So many times.
English!
Hold on.
He comes back so many times, like they'll like slice and dice him and all this stuff, and dude comes back.
Yeah. Frieza too. Frieza.
Yeah.
Frieza, yeah.
He's gonna come back with spider legs.
Or
Oh no.
he could have gone and do voice work for Resistance.
True.
Why are you pissing on my
That's
parade?
true. Very true.
Why are you pissing on my parade, fool?
It's okay, General Hugs.
That's him over there.
That's true. I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that. Because they're getting Gwendolyn.
Christy.
Yeah. They got. Who plays Poe
Both.
Oscar Isaac.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you're right. Maybe Andy Serkis is lending his voice talents to the Resistance.
And there's a precedent too, because you saw Palpatine and Rebels.
Yeah.
So
Maybe that's how we get more backstory for Snoke.
Mm-hmm.
it's possible. But I imagine, because Palpatine, and we even saw in Battlefront 2, he had like vaults
Mm-hmm.
with like hidden like memorabilia or whatever. I wonder if Kylo Ren comes on and some crazy wild shit that Snoke has. That would be cool. It was just an off-topic thought.
Well, this is another reason why you should watch Resistance, right?
Sunday, October.
No, I'm not talking about Resistance. I'm talking about Kylo Ren finding it in Episode 9.
Well, he would have to find it in Resistance.
No, he
too.
wouldn't.
It wouldn't have to, but
Over my cold dead body while I watch Resistance.
that may be
Cajun?
So is Snoke dead?
Yeah.
He's dead. He's
Yeah.
goners.
He's gone.
Gone.
Well, the ship blew up too, didn't it?
Yes,
So he's cut in half and it blew up.
and it blew up,
Same thing for Solo. He was stabbed in the chest.
and then the
planet
whole thing
up.
blew up.
Dead. D.
What
E.
if? What if they both come back?
E. Dead.
Diddy.
I don't know why when you said E real quick, I was thinking EA Sports. It's in the game.
It's in the game. It's not in the game. So it's not in the game.
It's not in the game anymore.
No.
It's an
Tim is over.
experience.
Tim has had it with EA for a while, right? Yeah.
Why? You didn't have to pay for anything on Battlefront 2.
Yeah, I try not to. I haven't, but I'm just saying, like, it's there, and I hate how they have to put it there for other people to use.
They took it away pretty quick.
Yeah, they did. They got everybody pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
I wonder what they were thinking with that. They're just like, just make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Money
way they do it on all their other
grubbing.
games.
Yeah.
Hooters.
Like-
You gotta buy like the packs,
Their packs
and then you
and-
gotta buy the packs, and you gotta buy the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
But
Crazy.
I think they learned their lesson for the next Star Wars game.
Well, because I think they had the next Star Wars game, but didn't it come up that EA wasn't going to be
But there's games that are
working with them?
successful that have that.
Talk to us on that.
Overwatch.
Yeah, I didn't play that.
Tons of microtransactions.
Yeah.
That game is still kicking after almost like, what is it? Like
What if
2
the
years?
microtransactions
Well, the difference between that,
crypto?
the difference between the Overwatch and Star Wars though is that Overwatch it's just skins and different costumes.
Yeah,
and
it's more
characters and
cosmetics. Yeah,
shit.
you're
But
right.
with Star Wars,
It
it's
doesn't
like
make your
spend
character
$20
better.
and you can have like a max
Yeah.
out level character.
Yeah.
Mm.
While everyone else who doesn't have a credit card.
See, if
Still
Star Wars
working
did
on it.
And
that,
that's not cool.
it'd be okay if
Yeah.
Star Wars did that, where you can. It's all like cosmetic stuff, and it wouldn't make your character
Different
better.
stormtroopers or clone trooper gear.
And that's what they're doing now.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't buy stuff. I don't know if you can buy stuff. I haven't played it in a long time.
No, I don't think you can.
If we had a Ready Player One scenario, what would you be?
I've never seen it.
You fucker.
Gotta read the book.
You can watch the movie
The book's
It's
awesome.
really good.
to
Yeah.
understand what I'm talking about.
What is?
Really good.
Fine, what would you be?
Oh, never seen it.
You
Oh,
can
what?
create your
It's
avatar. You can
really
make any
good.
manipulation,
Ready
any
Player One.
likeness.
Oh yeah, it's a great movie.
That's like endless. I'd just be. I'd
One
have
day
like
it would be.
100 costumes.
Yeah, that's true.
But I
Just
definitely
pull
have Millennium
Just
Falcon.
have a setting every
Or the
minute,
DeLorean.
change it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that'd be cool.
I know. I just loved it when I saw the DeLorean. I was like,
I'm curious, like, so in Ready Player One,
They
do you,
hit
do
all
you
the
take on
nostalgic
the. Let's say that you choose to be Wolverine, do you take on those attributes as well? Or how does that work?
Yes.
Or you get shot, you
Well,
die?
well,
or-
you get shot, you die, but you look like Wolverine. You have the claws and all this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think
video.
no, I
just-
think they take on the attributes as well.
But you
No,
couldn't have
'cause
an
once they
invinci-
died, all their
You couldn't have an
stuff-
invincibility.
Mecha Godzilla
trait.
and the Gundam fight, they would have the attributes. They were using their
But that
abilities.
Well,
was
they
only
have their
for a
abilities,
moment.
They were
I'm saying-
taking the hits as if they were the actual.
Well,
because
because their HP was
really
higher.
big.
Well,
Okay.
if that's so, I'd be the
I'll
Godzilla
take
in the Netflix anime.
Oh,
That took a kill.
Oh shit! Yeah.
But those two, one was because a dude had a lot of
Godzilla
money
Earth.
to pay for that, and the second one is because they found the artifact, but he was only that for was it
I'll
like
be,
2 minutes or something? 3 minutes?
Yeah, it's time.
I'll be Final Fantasy, the Earth Gaia. Tim knows what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. What? Somebody say Mandalore?
Yeah.
You
Mandalore.
said it.
Okay.
Mandalore.
Sure.
Go.
So
Words.
it starts shooting next week, supposedly.
And what are we today?
Now.
Pictures are in.
This
It's like they
week.
started
This
shooting.
week.
It already
We are the 5th. I don't know. Hang on.
We're the 10th. What are you talking about?
We're the 5th. We're the 5th. So it
Sure
starts
about
next week. Yeah, they start shooting next week. There's leaked pictures of the set, of the constructed set, and it's like an alleyway.
They're gonna shoot in an alley?
Yeah.
No way.
He's like,
no, the
wow,
set.
this alley looks
Oh.
just like
Set.
the alley. So why don't we shoot in the
Oh,
alley?
The alley. Way.
the alleyway.
So what did it
An
look like?
alley. I don't know. I didn't see it. Is it the one with
The thing?
The thing?
the guy?
The
Mandalorian in
guy.
the chat. Is it the one with
That guy.
the
Chad?
chat?
The chat.
Chat.
Yes.
Yes.
Was it the
Okay.
Chad?
Maybe the Mandalorian's name is Chad.
Chad
What
the
is
Mandalorian.
It's like,
He's such a Chad.
Chad Fett.
Jango, Boba, and Chad.
what's your name, Slick? Bob.
No, it's Chad.
Did you have a middle name? Just John.
Chad John.
Yeah. Stuff blows up. He's like, no way.
That was sick.
Right.
Oh my god. So what are y'all's expectations on this Jon Favreau series coming to the Disney streaming service 2019?
Pure unadulterated fun.
PG,
I'm excited.
and that's it. What do you
What?
think?
Pretty bullshit.
PG-13?
No.
Maybe 13 at the very least.
Oh yes.
Sorry, guys.
It's very relaxing.
I was like,
That was an intermission.
All right, separate sale.
Go.
I'm excited.
Go.
Beep. I'm excited.
So,
Overthink.
boom, boom, boom.
So, yeah.
What are your thoughts on it, man? PG-13? You think they'll put that on Disney streaming service?
Shit, yeah, it better be.
Yeah.
I'm not watching it. Okay, that's part lie.
Yeah, that's all lie.
it's gonna be
Well, because it's
It's live action.
It's live
but
action.
You can watch it.
Yeah,
even if it's-
exactly, 'cause
Even
it's-
if it's G. Is it Gigi? I don't know.
Gigi.
GG.
Maybe that's his name.
Yeah.
I'm Gigi Fett.
Oh God. No. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I mean, yeah, we don't
Title
want
of
like.
it is The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian.
Did you say
The
Mandalorian?
The Mandalorian.
I swore you said the other. You know, kind of like we talked with the previous guests. You know, with Bogo and everything. Like my first favorite character was Boba Fett, and
Oh.
shut your whore mouth. And I really want to see that, but I just don't want there to be an oversaturation. With all that out of the way, the picture that they released, with someone in Mandalorian armor, I got excited.
Like Boba's armor.
It wasn't Boba's armor.
I said it looked like Boba's armor.
Yeah, Mandalorian armor.
Listen.
Jodocast.
Turn this
Did you
up.
see who posted the? Who shared the? There was a picture of
Yeah.
action figure of Boba Fett in his
Oh.
in his uniform, It was like it had the model of Boba Fett. Then it showed the Mandalorian, very very similar.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, they're all kind of similar.
Yeah, they're all.
Yeah, I mean,
very
but this
similar.
Mandalorian armor is very similar.
Well, I understand that, but this was like more so than many.
than most others.
Sorry, I didn't have that little dent.
Yeah, I don't know if she can pull it
From
up.
Cad Bane.
But it's just like I don't know. When I saw it though, like, you know, but you don't want an oversaturation. You don't want to kind of piss away that imagery that you have, that the reason you liked it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But still seeing that image, I got excited.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it just now it's kind of like it almost hypes it up. It
I don't
gives
think anybody shared
a
it.
higher expectation. So it's kind of like now it's like, don't mess this up, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you're taking something that everyone likes, and that's great. That's what you ideally want to do. But now you're going to have higher expectations to fulfill, and you need to make sure that you produce something really great. Which Favreau, some previous projects he's done, beginning, have been wonderful. So, I mean, I have that track record to look at. But, I mean, we've only seen that picture. I mean, then there's a set of an alleyway. Could be an alleyway, but that's just an alleyway.
Was it the set or was it the actual alleyway?
I mean, was it like the alleyway next to the alleyway, but the one's technically fake?
What?
They said alleyway.
Alleyway or whatever, like
But, still...
that,
Oh, yeah, that almost looks like
It looks like-
Mos Eisley's area on Tatooine. I don't know if that's an
An
alleyway.
alleyway.
an alleyway or
Is
like
that-
a shopping area, a market.
A market?
Market.
An outlet of some sort.
Let's talk to
God, stop! No, because I was looking at the one with
It's
the
armor shopping.
guy in the armor, and he's in an alleyway. Like,
He's
look at
upgrading
that.
his.
Can I get the Mandalorian
Yes.
armor that looks like Boba Fett's?
He went to the alleyway.
He went to the alleyway.
It was
for
all
some
virtual
armor.
reality, and he's upgrading his skin.
He paid for that.
And so,
with cryptos.
it's something I just want to read that was from Jon Favreau.
Okay,
I posted
go for
on
it.
the actual page on our
Oh.
the Force Choke Facebook page 2 days ago. This is something that Jon Favreau released from his actual page,
Okay.
titled "The Mandalorian." After the stories of Jango and Boba Fett, another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. We follow the travails of the lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of galaxy far from the authority of the New Republic. And I know you commented like a space western, and with that picture, it kind of like resembles that because I mean he even says it right there, lone gunfighter,
Gunfighter.
and it's just I don't know, it's
He
like
has the rifle on his back. He's got the
Mhm.
pistol.
yeah, and I love that the concept behind that.
And Sarah here brought up an image of the Mandalorian photo, and it looks very similar to when Disney purchased Star Wars. They were in production of making a video game called 1313, which was in reference to the levels in Coruscant, right?
Is that the one that starts off where they're falling?
They're falling,
God,
yeah.
that's so good.
It looks so good. They look like
I hate that they canceled it, right?
They can't. It looked like they were getting. I think they were more than halfway done, and then they just canceled
Like
the whole
the
thing.
underground, right?
Yeah.
Bastards.
Sarah just brought up an image
13.
of a Mandalorian character that looks very similar to the Mandalore photo that was brought out. So I'm wondering if they're going to bring concepts from that video that were going to be in that video game to this
I see them doing that.
to this series.
Everything that Disney canceled, they still pull from.
Yeah.
Still.
The
They-
books and novels, comics, and yeah, they're. Well, we've kind of talked about it before, right? They're almost taking the best parts,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then kind of incorporating it
into
into
the new timeline.
yeah, which is great.
Yeah, and I think
And that's all has to do with Kathleen Kennedy.
she did something good for once. Okay, I'll congratulate for that. No, I'm not trashing on her, but it's just with the timeline given, like the supposed like what's going to be happening. I think it's kind of exciting too, is because again we are talking about not wanting to see it like oversaturated, but that time frame, Mandalore is kind of like fucked up. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we are talking about also after Boba Fett. It's not canon that he escaped, did it? Was he? I know it's part of the.
Not anymore. I don't think so.
Highly theorized that he got out in the Aftermath book.
But it doesn't point blank say it.
It doesn't point blank.
So they left the door open for it, but it doesn't
open.
specify it,
Yeah.
right?
I think in the book, spoiler alerts, is that someone went by the Starlight Pit and saw pieces of Mandalorian armor outside of the Starlight Pit, and there's no way to get out of it.
Yeah.
He's not going to take off his armor and throw it out, or the Starlight Pit's not going to throw up armor.
It'll just disintegrate it in its stomach
So
acid.
Theorized that he got out.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like what we saw with Finn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he lands on Jakku and just taking all his shit off because it's super hot.
Yeah. So you presume that
It could be something similar.
dead. Yeah.
And then maybe he donned a new identity. I'm not saying this is Boba Fett, but I'm just saying like we're past that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the state of Mandalore is like just really in disarray.
Maybe after all that time in the Starlight Pit, he developed a stutter.
Could be. And
Turned
he's
into DJ.
Yeah.
could be. That's quite the possibility. Had some facial reconstruction.
Starlight Pit.
Starlight
Do
Pit
that to you.
screwed him up.
Maybe.
What's crazy about the Starlight Pit, I've actually done.
Keep going down. Oh, down!
The Starlight Pit is almost like that creature, the Borgullet, where it when it wraps its tentacles around you.
Borgullet knows.
You came here.
You can try to hide,
Yeah.
but he knows the truth. Did you come here to kill me?
Oh my god.
So I mean, I don't know what they're gonna go with it, but just the whole concept of a lone gunfighter and Mandalorian gear. I don't know.
That's what I was going to ask, if maybe
pretty
we're just
exciting.
going to follow one Mandalore around. Not necessarily
Well, that's what the title implies,
Right.
I guess.
that he's
The Mandalorian.
hmm
Almost as if like maybe the Mandalorian's just complete.
Could be. Because we don't know for sure if Jango Fett and Boba Fett were necessarily Mandalorian. They wore the armor, but I don't know if they're from any tribe from Mandalore.
I thought they mentioned that Django was
Django
briefly.
Yeah?
Probably.
I thought they mentioned it briefly. Yeah, that a Mandalorian that found his way to Camino. That he was commissioned to come there, but I thought they made it not like something real brief.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if you go to the database, you'll say like, it was a Mandalorian warrior. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
But I mean, there was such a civil war with everything going on. Everything
Yeah.
was so messed up. Like,
Maybe they'll take us there.
I think it'll be the first series where you don't have any aspect of Jedi or Sith
Yeah, you're probably
involved.
right. Mm-hmm.
Because even in Rogue One and Solo, you still had
Yeah.
Sith involved,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which would be a good turning point for future series where we don't have to focus so much on Jedi and Sith.
Like to
Yeah.
see how
Light
it
and
thrives and
dark.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
How everybody else is living, surviving.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Does he meet up with Ahsoka though?
Does it have the dark saber?
That's true. There's a Darksaber out there.
That would be
so-
cool. Maybe we figure out what the hell. Yeah. Maybe there's some kind of.
Doesn't Maul have a feud with the Mandalore?
He actually takes over
him.
the Darksaber in
Clone
Clone Wars and becomes head of the Mandalores for a little while.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
But we never see what happens to Ren. So Sabine Wren. So maybe it has some segue onto that. Maybe it's like the daughter of her or something.
Could be.
Because we are talking about a bit of a time gap. Dude,
Yeah.
if you got to see the Darksaber, holy shit.
Well, that would cut through anything except for another saber.
Like maybe like he's looking for this. Like there was the complete civil war, like destroyed everything, and then somehow some rich asshole, like what we see in a Solo movie, I forgot his name, Dryden Voss.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe there's a collector out there or some shit, and so now he's tracing the remnants of his people of his past to find the Darksaber.
Could be. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be fucking cool.
He's got to have a purpose for something.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
What
So
do
I
you
could just go around and be like, "Hey, bro, did you hear about a guy that he's my brother, Boba Fett?
Boba
He
Fett?
fell into the pit like a bitch." But no, I hated that though because someone made the comment like when they made everything canon and non-canon, they're like, okay, so now if we look at the canon version of Boba Fett, he doesn't do anything. And I'm like, oh, shit.
We don't ever see him do anything.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, because when they went to isolate things as canon and non-canon, you took away all of his, like, you know, all the things that he's done almost.
Accomplishments. They're gone.
Yeah, and so, like, at least on the big screen, it's like, okay, well, he captured Han, but
I'm kind of curious how well he can play Sabak. Do you think he's good?
who?
Boba Fett?
Nah.
I think he might have a temper.
I feel like he would have a temper.
Playing the game?
Yeah.
Boba Fett?
He probably
I
throw the
would
table.
think of.
He probably wipe the money off.
You just
Point his gun at someone.
He always seems
blast him.
he seems really calm and collected though.
Behind his helmet or what?
What?
Is it behind his helmet or what?
Well, I'm just talking about looking at his action. He's just sitting there, you know, respectful in the back, and then Vader gets in his face. No disintegration. He goes, "As you wish," but he doesn't do anything else.
No, I think it's more like,
Whatever.
okay.
We'll
see.
I'm not saying he doesn't. Yeah, I'm not saying he has his own attitude. I'm just saying I feel like he's more of this. He's hyper observant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a bounty hunter, as being a lone gunfighter almost, like he trains himself to be more observant, and in doing so, he's not going to be a loudmouth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't think he'll be a loudmouth, but I think he might be shooting from the cuff. Or maybe he's like one of those where it's like, okay, you take my money, but once you leave the table, I'll just go ahead and take it back.
Well, no, see, I can
Right,
see that, but
right.
that's calculating.
Yeah.
That's not shooting from the cuff.
Yeah.
I mean, well, because even then, when he was in Jabba's palace, he never said anything, and then only when Leia, you know, showed the thermal detonator, then he came to, you know, at ready.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Did you pilot the slave one?
He'll be right back.
Did you say, does he violate the slave one?
Oh my god.
Hits.
Speak into the microphone, Timmy.
This went south.
What?
He needs a ship.
What if in this thing the guy he's in that desert market looking place trying to uncover where the slave one's at? Ooh, that'd be cool.
Slave one kind of sucks.
You kind of
This
suck.
takes place in.
He's TV on my bed. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you
never-
anymore.
No.
They made it
Big.
They made it super strong in the Battlefront though.
Yeah. I hate it when you play on the one where the Death Star blew up. And it's got all the pieces. I think it's Death Star.
Mm-hmm.
It's got all the pieces
I
floating
hate it.
around.
Yeah,
I
man.
can't use it.
Where you go through the freaking.
Yeah.
It's too bulky.
I'm just going straight and I hit something on top that I can't see.
But it is like a cargo plane though, because he has carry shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, it can't be that nimble of a fighter, you know. It's not like a Jedi Starfighter where it's like I can fit in here.
Yoda's Starfighter.
Yeah, I haven't played. I don't know if I ever played that map though.
I can't.
I haven't played in a while. Like, cause it's like either I get to play a lot for like a abbreviated time and then I won't touch it for a while. Like I've only made time because of Spider-Man,
Yeah.
but I don't need the online stuff for it. So I'm like, I'm not gonna, you know, spend $50 over 3 months if I'm only
Grievous
gonna
is
touch
about
it like a
to
couple
come out.
days.
You spend $50, I think you get the whole year.
The
Or
season
whatever, or
pass?
25, I guess.
Hmm.
I don't know. It
I
just
don't
charged my
even-
card. I was like, God damn it! I don't want
You
to
don't
spend
even need it.
$26
Do you
for
play
that.
online?
The season pass?
The only thing I
No,
ever
you
played
don't.
is a
Like, you can play
Starfighter.
online. It's just that if you want to get the new content that's coming out, you would need the season pass.
Because you have to pay for online though. That's what I'm saying.
No.
I tried doing it. It says they wouldn't connect.
Are you paying for the Disney service?
Oh,
No.
PlayStation Plus? You talking about?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you
You
do.
know,
I don't pay for any.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
No.
Yeah.
There's no point
No.
for me paying
No
for it if I'm not going to get to
services.
play it that often.
At all.
No.
And I've made a
I'm
point
the
to
one
play it
kid
more
that, like,
because of Spider-Man. But with
piggybacks
Spider-Man,
off
I don't
Netflix.
need to play. I don't need that
Hey,
shit.
And like
Yeah,
I have
it's
your
all in the
HBO
game.
Go account.
Uh-huh.
I use my sister's Netflix and Hulu.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a moocher.
I know, right? Bad.
Right? Oh my god.
I'm working
Well,
you have to pay
40
for the
plus
solo
hours a
movie,
week and I
or-
don't pay for shit.
Yeah.
So what I was telling them, like, I don't know, just briefly, like maybe, like I was saying, like he was like trying to go collect shit. Well, maybe he's trying to collect the slave one. If he's like in a desert marketplace, maybe he is on Tatooine,
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out whatever Jabba did with it. Well, I mean, not Jabba, he's dead, but you got to imagine it's somewhere near Jabba's palace,
Mm-hmm.
and that someone, maybe one of the other Hutts, came in to reclaim
They
it.
might have some other Hutts in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he had a family. You even saw that. I mean, that was the beginning episode for Clone Wars. Is looking for his son or some shit.
Yeah, because they killed Zero. Jabba died, and there was like.
Because Zero was his uncle, right?
Yeah, 3 or 4 more heads of the crime.
That's a gang family.
Yeah.
So
Might even see him on. There's a planet called Nalahut, or a moon, so we might see him go there too, right off of Tatooine.
See it on Resistance.
Mm-hmm.
October 7th.
you're
Sunday.
gonna see that shit. You just tell me the date.
That's like the 4th time you said that.
That's the first time I heard you
Keeps
say it.
reminding you throughout the whole thing.
I'll be at work, so it doesn't matter.
Wait. 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central.
He's gonna be on that Hocus Pocus marathon.
Don't you with Hocus Pocus, okay? No, I'll be watching
The second one.
nothing because I'll be at work. I'm not gonna be watching
I
anything.
think that was a joke.
I'm
No,
winking
I
on the
thought it
other
was
side of the
real.
glasses.
No,
Is it a joke?
Krista posted it.
What?
The Hocus Pocus 2 thing.
Oh,
Is
it is
that
a
real?
joke.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you really think it was real?
I mean,
thought
not
it
that
was
it's a
real.
joke. It's fake. It's not funny. They should
You're
really
fake.
cut that out.
Next topic.
Do we have another topic? The next topic is Tim wrapping it up.
Ooh.
Is it already?
Wrap up.
Wrap
Tim.
Then let Tim. You got
Wrap up
something else?
I thought you were gonna talk about the
No, wasn't there a mention of like 2 other
deleted scenes.
No, we
directors? Right?
No, we cut
No,
that out. and we
scratched
put
it.
in
Oh, yeah.
86.
Mandalorian.
The
Unless
deleted
y'all.
Thanks for
they were
telling me.
deleted for a reason.
Thanks for telling me.
He said that like right when we all got here.
Well, you know what? Maybe we can talk a little bit about it. But what were you saying again, Tim? Because
I'm looking for some more news.
Oh, okay.
It
Well,
seems
what-
like it's something he should do like before
Yeah,
the
that's
podcast.
Oh, okay. What do you got there?
I don't know how to say his name.
I don't say his name either.
The
Let me see.
Thor 3 director.
From
me see.
Taka Watari.
That's not it.
Watiti?
Let me see the name of it. Let me see it. Just the name.
Taco with titty. Taco with titty. Say it. Say it.
Okay. Okay. Taika? I
Yeah.
can't do the last name.
Wait, titty.
Wait, no titty.
Wait.
Wait, titty.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Thor 3 director.
The beautiful man from New Zealand.
Yeah.
What about him?
From him to Bryce Dallas Howard, multiple directors will be on different episodes for the new Star Wars series.
You're
That
right.
was- Yeah.
You're on a different episode.
So,
It's gonna kind of be like
but
what was that old series that
Fabro is going to oversee everything.
there was a series on HBO with the Crypt Keeper. What was his name?
True Detective?
No.
The Crypt Keeper?
Don't you
Tales from the
stand on my TV
Tales from the
show?
Crypt. They had a director for each.
Yeah.
For
Well,
each
they had a
episode.
story for each different
Yeah.
story.
Did they really?
Yeah. So it was a different director each one of them.
It's just, the Game of Thrones is the same way, different director each one.
Same producers.
Same
different
producer, same
directors.
2 producers, and the whole thing is different directors.
Yeah. So I
Or
think
The
that's
Walking Dead too. Walking Dead.
You're a different
Yeah,
director.
right. So
There's a lot of big names coming
Mhm.
for this Disney streaming.
yeah, they
Show.
they're really behind on what Netflix has done. I think they're finally opening their eyes to the
Well,
fact
half
that
of
if
Netflix content is going to be gone once Disney takes it all back.
unless
Sorry, we were
they
talking
yeah,
about.
go ahead.
We were talking last night about like how like Sony has a partnership with Marvel to do Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So like technically speaking, I haven't seen Venom. I will hope to see it this weekend somehow. But that technically Peter Parker could have like a cameo. Actual Tom Holland's Peter Parker
Yeah.
could potentially have a cameo in Venom, even though it's Sony. I'm hoping that they have some kind of arrangement for that for the Defender series on Netflix because like
Well,
you can't.
I read that they're keeping the Netflix heroes,
Miniseries
the
heroes.
miniseries on
And they're
Netflix.
able to continue with that?
Yeah.
Thank that. And you down there just
You
in
know,
case.
And it might be because they signed a contract in
Because Netflix is producing it. It's not Disney producing it. It's Netflix.
Yeah.
But it's their.
But it's Disney property.
Yeah.
So it's like contract.
Because I'm just like, you cannot top John Bernthal as Frank Castle, man. That shit is the best.
What I think.
I mean, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. What I think probably happened in that contract is Disney said, okay, you can have them for 5 years.
Yeah.
Let's just say, after those 5 years have concluded, if you choose to do another contract, you may. But if you let that, pass, then it comes back to us. But as long as you just keep paying for it, you keep it. They can't take it away.
With Fox.
Yeah.
With Ghost Rider and Blade and all them.
Okay, that's
the deal
good.
was, you keep making the movies, you get to keep the characters.
Yeah.
But once you stop it and you go for like a year or two hiatus, we'll get them back.
Yeah. That's why they had that shitty.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
To keep the name.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good then.
Tim knows what I'm talking about. Did you see that?
I still haven't seen it, man.
Oh, you still haven't seen it?
You don't have to.
Well, that's good. because-
Yeah, that's what I told Tim. He's like, I want to see it. I was like, Tim, don't do that to yourself, man. I saw it. Don't do it. It's
on
bad.
Netflix.
Didn't it have like a
It's on
5%
Netflix.
rating or some shit?
If it had
9%?
that, then I mean, it probably needed.
The Venom rating
It's
was
rating
like a 30.
yeah, I would say its rating is as bad as Venom's.
The Venom looks.
I know you like
And I
Tom
felt,
Hardy, but
I didn't like when I
Fucking
first saw the Venom trailer, like the first 2 trailers.
I was
Didn't like
kind of
it. I hated
me
it.
either.
Didn't seem right.
No,
But the last trailer, I felt more okay with it.
I didn't like the way the Venom came like over his face. I was like, that's not how it does it.
I think they just did it for effect. I mean, because he.
You don't have to defend it.
I think.
Yes, I do. It's Tom Hardy. God damn it! Oh man.
Well, that's the one thing they're saying is good, is that Tom Hardy actually does a good job.
I'm sure he
But the
does.
story sucks, and the CGI is terrible.
In the trailer, the CGI didn't look that great.
Well, I know. I remember saying like
That's what
people
I
would
heard.
review it or whatever, and like how they're making a comparison just simply between trailer 2 versus 1 is that it got way better because I guess so many people were trashing on the CGI from the first trailer. It's like, you fucking kidding me?
Another thing, they took out, I think it was like 40 minutes worth of stuff to make it PG-13. Because originally it was going to be rated R.
Now he's
Kids
mad.
ruin everything.
Now I'm pissed. The goddamn kids again. Sons of bitches.
We gotta do it for the kids. They're their
I
future.
don't give a shit about those little punks. I want my stuff.
Are you gonna go see it, Nate?
No.
Probably me either.
Really? God. Well, you don't like Black Panther, so there's nothing wrong with that.
What are we not seeing?
Venom.
The
Venom?
Venom movie.
Oh yeah, I don't care. I don't care.
I am an island. I stand alone. We'll sit down.
That didn't
alone.
take very long.
No, it
If
didn't.
someone else pays, I'll go see it.
Oh my
You are a
goodness.
welfare case on your own then.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, no, you're like,
That's
anyone want to buy me a TV,
mean.
Oculus, PS4,
I have,
movie ticket,
no, I have
anything?
a TV. You said TV.
I need a TV.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just saying, I'm not gonna buy VR.
Yeah.
There's more important things in life, like food
Like vinyls
and vinyls
and concert tickets.
and concert tickets. Actual real life experiences instead of virtual life experiences.
That's what I'm talking about. I can carry the knowledge of what I've seen with Venom wherever I go. Vinyls can burn. And you can't take that with you if they burn. Well, you can, but it's ashes.
Ashes to ashes. Dust to dust.
Dust.
If my house ever catches fire,
Fade to black.
I'm gonna come to you. Come for
I have stuff
Yeah.
in the works.
you. Yeah.
Oh, my
Did you
man.
like the? I know this is off topic of Star Wars, but did you like the Venom trailer? I mean, like, let's be honest.
No, hold on.
Stop
And
lying
I'm
to
gonna-
One
yourself.
second, because I've said this on multiple cases when it comes to comic book movies.
I want to say this.
I'm
first,
not tainted by the actual stories, so I
though. Okay,
can
yeah,
appreciate
no,
them for themselves.
no, beyond that, because I know you love the experience of going to the movies, and I know you enjoy
Never happens anymore.
and I know you enjoy movies within themselves. But I want to ask you honestly, when you saw that trailer, not because Tom Hardy was in it, were you excited for that?
I was excited that they're doing a Venom movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really have expectations. Like, I mean, yeah, I know they can make improvements for stuff like CGI. I wasn't entirely concerned about that, only because I know, like, they're gonna get flack, they're gonna fix it. There's still a lot of time before they actually release the movie itself. I think the first trailer came out 6 months prior to now. You know, so I wasn't having huge issues with that. And again, I don't really know the story, so I'm not going to be affected by seeing a different story than what was actually initially done. I know some very basic concepts behind it, but I also know, like, just the premise of what I know about Venom. I would want to see that visualized on the big screen, and especially, like, one of my favorite actors is playing him. So yeah, I'm partly biased about that, but I don't think it's going to be a complete turd. Because again, like I was also mentioning to you last night, there are some movies that had terrible ratings, and I'm like, what the fuck? That movie was awesome. Y'all have poor taste or whatever. Because there's also some movies out there that have really terrible ratings, but the fan reviews are like at 95 percentile, while
Like
they're actually graded at 30.
Like the new Predator movie.
I didn't watch that one.
I wasted money on that one.
Did you?
Really?
Tell us about it, Nick, because
I hear it's a funny.
I heard it was funny too.
Yeah.
From Carlos at work.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's
Yeah.
funny.
It had very
Like
few
sad
scenes
funny?
that make you chuckle.
Really?
Just
Really?
from
I thought it was
Keegan and his partner in that movie. But other than that, it's a terrible story.
That's a new take on it.
See, and I think that has to do with, like, because I say I haven't gone to movies in a while, because there hasn't been a movie like I've actually had to reshuffle things to make sure I can go watch it. I will do that for Venom,
Yeah.
because I was excited when I heard about it. I mean, it has to at least be better than what we saw in Spider-Man 3. Can we all agree on that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Really?
I don't know about
I don't
that
know.
either.
Wow.
I mean,
Okay.
this
I
Venom
like-
has nothing to do with Spider-Man.
I like
He's not going to be a part of it at all. They already said that it's not in the same universe.
I've heard comments that. Have you seen the movie?
I don't need to.
No,
I've seen the articles.
Yeah. You're like, I've seen the trailer. That's good.
I saw more than I need.
I've seen 2
Yeah.
minutes, and that was plenty, I assure you.
I
Well,
know
we'll see, but
the
like I s-
Venom that they did in Spider-Man 3 he was very small, stature-wise, right?
Tougher Grace.
I didn't really like the way that part of his face was enveloped in the Venom most of the time. If they would have cut it down to the neck, I think that would have been sufficient. But I did like the way Venom moved, and I liked the way he acted. Those are my opinions on it.
What about Eddie Brock?
That's what I'm saying. His stature.
Okay, Venom
was too
alone, but
small.
not.
His
okay.
Venom was good. The stature for Eddie Brock was a little off.
The story how he got there was better than what
Yes.
Venom's going to be. Where we go from Black Suit Spider-Man, which is actual from the comics,
Yeah.
Yes.
to him on top of the church
Yeah.
and falling on top of Eddie Brock.
And
See,
Venom having
and-
some
and-
kind of
and-
like vendetta
Yeah.
against Spider-Man
And that's why, like,
because of
I don't get hell bent on the story, because the only story that I gather from friends or from what my vague memories of watching it on, like, Saturday morning cartoons. So I remember how Venom came about, like, or to my memory, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was like a space shuttle, there's an issue, it crashed like on a bridge or something. Spider-Man goes to help, and that's how he get, the symbiote.
Yeah. And,
Okay.
and
But-
in the
but again-
comics, in the comics is different.
Okay, well, but that's what
different
I'm saying
origins.
is because
Yeah,
we're
you're right.
seeing there are there's different timelines, there's different versions. I mean, Spider-Man alone, Jesus, how many different things are there? Talking about all the different suits and all the different timelines and all the different scenarios. So I'm just saying this is a new take on it. How will it hold up? I won't know until I watch the film.
20.
But I just won't. God damn you. But I'm just saying I'm not going to get so hell-bent on it where I'm not going to watch it, especially since it is going to be a new rendition of it.
Yeah.
I'm not tainted by what I know of it, except for just a real basic understanding. Like, I'm going to go and be able to watch the movie and enjoy it for the face value of it.
Are you scared that it's a Sony movie and not a Marvel movie? I think that's a big problem.
It's a factor. I'm not, again, but I'm not, I'm treating this movie as itself.
What do you think?
If the
Tim?
movie is
You're
shit-
smiling pretty big over there, man.
If the movie is shit, we'll find out. But I know what you're talking about.
I believe
the whole
that the
Fantastic
movie
Four.
is shit, based off of the reviews. I don't know too much about Venom's story. I only know so much, but
That was fun.
This is a great tangent.
So it's part Disney, so just
I
call it
was
a Disney
excited
podcast.
for the trailer. Like, I was disappointed in the trailer, but then I was still excited because I was like, well, finally this gets to lead to Carnage. I get to have a Carnage movie that I've been wanting for a long time.
And an anti-Venom, and an anti-Gwen, and an anti-this.
But
and
yeah, there's so many villains are coming
Yeah.
about. But now with these reviews, I'm just kind of like, well, now I want my Carnage.
You don't want it no
alone.
more. Yeah.
I want him to come out with fire. Like,
Yeah.
this is a villain.
Yeah. Carnage was a good character. Mass murderer, serial killer, taking on a Venom suit with a vendetta.
To Spider-Man, who's not
And now we
It's not enough.
now we
Yeah,
have
it's not
no. And I think I don't want to.
Yes, dude, you're talking, so just keep on going.
Yeah, well, I think I don't forget if I put it on Instagram or whatever, but I said the anti-hero isn't in right now. That's not an in thing. You know what I mean?
Well, it worked for Thanos, right?
For Thanos,
Yeah.
he's not an anti-hero.
Deadpool.
People see him as an anti-hero now.
Deadpool, thank you,
It's
sir.
working for Deadpool right now.
Deadpool's an anti-hero?
Not
Really?
movies.
Yeah.
He's not considered.
He's a hero.
He's a hero in those movies.
Where
'Cause he's
where's
going
the
against-
anti part?
Yeah,
He's going
there is
against
no
nothing but bad
anti-hero.
guys.
Comic books.
Anti-hero is more like, Magneto?
Yes, he's gonna do what's best
For
for
him.
the situation at the time.
Yeah.
For him, if it's fighting with the X-Men
And was
because it
working
benefits
for
him,
First class.
yeah,
Well-
that's great. But if he needs the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, then he will fight with them against the X-Men.
So far, all we've
That's
seen
an
has gone out of
anti-hero.
his way to.
But do you need a trend to enjoy something?
To do it right, yeah,
You need a trend to enjoy something then.
because they're
Bless you.
bless you,
Bless you.
because you have to have the right people in charge of that trend to do it right.
So you're saying the only way that happens is that it has to be a trend? I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the premise of if there's a trend for it, then you're going to strive, further than potentially maybe what you would have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to strive as hard to make that happen. They're going to make an anti-hero movie half-ass is what they did. Or going to do, because I haven't seen it. And who knows, it might be great. I hope it is.
I'm disappointed in this.
Why are you disappointed?
Is Heath Ledger? Not Heath Ledger. Joaquin?
Joaquin Phoenix?
Is this Joker supposed to be anti-hero?
Was Joker ever anti-hero though?
No, he's always a villain.
Yeah, I'm not trying to trash you. I don't think he's ever been.
Yeah, I see, but
He's crazy.
yeah, he's a villain.
He's nuts.
I can't see him as anti-hero.
The only thing about him that might be anti-hero is the Red Hood, but that's different iconic characters. Man, we got way off topic.
I know.
Marvel podcast now.
I know, right?
So I wrapped it up, right?
Tim, you got the wrap up.
Yes.
Ooh.
Me.
Oh,
There was something I did want to add since we're talking about the wrap up. It's like unpopular opinion. The only reason you give a shit about Admiral Akbar is because he said it's a trap. True or false?
No, it's because of a meme.
It's because of
The meme? I think that the meme definitely helped.
nobody cared about Akbar.
I
But that's what I'm saying is that no one gave a shit about him other than that.
But it shined a light. The meme shined a light on his character.
Well, he
People-
died.
Because that's all he had
Sad.
going for him.
And that's it.
And people enjoyed and loved his character for it and found out about him.
I think,
And they're like,
like,
oh,
for
should've-
me, the Return of the Jedi came out in the early to mid 80s. At that point in my life, I'm about 10 years old. For me, seeing a character like Admiral Akbar with these huge eyes, you know what I mean? And his mouth moving and
A lobster with a suit.
can't repel fire magnitude that size, whatever. You know what I mean? I love his character. You know what I mean? So before the whole meme universe and
Top 3 characters?
of Star Wars,
Yes.
no,
Top 5?
no,
10?
no.
As a kid?
Oh, as a kid,
Yes.
probably top 12.
So top 10 no?
No.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant?
Yes.
Yeah.
If when you were a kid and you went to the store and you saw a Luke Skywalker toy, a Vader toy, a Leia toy, a Han Solo toy, and a Akbar toy, you're not going to pay attention to this.
Yeah, you're not going to
Yeah.
give a shit about that. You're like,
Although,
fuck Luke! Fuck Han! Let me get that goddamn calamari in a suit.
I just want to preface this with I did have the Darth Vader suitcase. Remember the toy
Yeah.
thing? And Admiral Akbar was in there.
Did you
Along with
buy the case for Admiral Akbar?
the case for him?
You
What are you
buy the
talking
whole
about?
thing just for Akbar.
Yes.
You did?
He's right in the middle. No, I had a lot of the figures.
You smell it? Smells like bullshit is what it
Smells
smells
like
like.
bullshit.
I think it's this actually.
Yeah.
So that side would take.
It smell funky.
The sweet.
I don't know why I do that now. I even do that to my dog, DJ. He goes,
Oh, yeah.
he gives back the piece or whatever. He goes, go away. Get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
And I do it to my dog and he just causes him to jump more. I'm like, damn it, dude, stop.
What is that?
Sounds like
Sleeping.
someone's smoking a bowl. People are just thinking of a druggie at work because I bought that art piece and everything.
I know.
Smoking a. That sounds like you're smoking a bowl.
Smoking a bowl.
That's
This is what I just said.
smoking a bowl or smoking a bong.
I don't know. Okay, maybe I'm not a drug person. There you go.
Anyway.
Tim, you need
Alright,
some.
that's it for.
You need some. You need some music to shut us down here.
I don't need music, but we're gonna wrap it up right now. This is episode 38.
God damn, he's on
Sports
a
Show
roll.
Podcast. You're here with myself, Tim,
Like we care. I mean, like it.
Lewis.
Izzy.
Sarah.
Ed Council is signing off. Thank you for watching.
So, wait, hit him!
Thanks for joining us, Nate.